Some of you have never had a negative experience of losing maybe your parents or both your parents or a single parent whilst you're still young. At that time, that's when you realize that you are on your own. In an African setting, your father is rich and doing well. Your house is full of visitors. There are uncles that you don't even know. Aunties that you don't even know. Maybe you might be 3 of you. Brother, sister, you might be 4 of you. And yet, in that house, you might be 16. Some of them are cousins from the village. The villages you have never been to. Some of them are coming to visit. You are meeting them for the first time. Some of them, even when you're trying to introduce them to your friends, it is hard because you don't understand the relationship. You have to sit down, my uncle's son, now the wife, there was a girlfriend that he had. Now the son, the uncle of that boy had a child. Now the grandson, this is the one. You have to explain because you don't understand the kind of relationship. Sometimes even the cousins of your father will love you. Sometimes the brothers of your father will love you. Who are your uncles? Sisters of your father will love you so much because your father is still alive. A lot of relatives would even be calling you and inviting you for holidays because your father is still alive. People will be full in your house because your father who is taking care of you is still alive and is doing well. Some houses, people be sleeping in the passages. You know those old houses where you have got a passage which leads to other rooms. Some people be sleeping there. Some people are sleeping in pantries, on the living rooms, everywhere. Because your father is still alive. That is why somebody asked a question. They say, when do the dead die? When a person is dead, when do they really die? Somebody asked a question to say, when does the funeral really start? In Africa, a funeral doesn't start the day a person dies. No. When a person dies, the funeral hasn't started. The day that you lose your loved one, that is not the day that the funeral will start. Because you'll be receiving a lot of calls at that time. People will be inquiring many things about the funeral. Some of them will be sending you condolences messages, standing with you, solidarity, trying to sympathize with you. All those messages will be coming. You will go home where the funeral is. You are not going to be alone. There will be your relatives that you've last seen 7 years ago, 5 years ago. They'll all come to be with you. Your friends that you've never seen in months, weeks, and years will come to be with you. People will be eating. Sometimes even you eat with them because you have got company. It's like the pain and the grief is suppressed. Everyone is there with you. And then you go to bury. Then after you bury, you come back. A lot of people will come. And then they'll eat their last meal. And then people will begin to disappear. In the evening, there won't be as noise as other days. It will be a little bit quiet. Then the following day in the morning, people would have disappeared. Those that came from villages will be saying their byes. Many few of you. So you will reduce the pot that you used to cook. You're not going to cook the way you used to cook those days. You just cook a meal for the ewes that are there. In the afternoon, depending on how things will be, you will just be you and the close relatives. In the evening, it will be like everyone has disappeared now. It is only you and your siblings. Then early in the morning when you wake up, the funeral now starts because everyone would have left. And sometimes if you have got problems and you need people to help you, that is when you realize that your uncles are not there for you. Depending on how good they are and depending on how bad they are. All those your uncles that used to visit, months will pass, they will never visit. Your aunties that your father used to educate, you will never see them. Those cousins that were taken to school by your father, your mother, you will never see them. It will get to a level that if you are a parent, you have got a lot of children, you don't have the capacity to take care of them, you even begin to wonder, where can I take them? That should show you that you are not with many people, no matter how surrounded you are. So that is the level that I want you to get to realize that you don't have a lot of people in your life. You are alone. If you can wait months to pass, you will not be receiving those calls that you received. Because at that time, people that you thought were there for you, maybe they were just there because of what they were benefiting from you. Tell your neighbor, no one is coming for you. Tell them you are on your own.
More Than Conquerors Family Church Auditorium, Chalala, plot number 12531/M, south end of Kasama Road, 3 kilometers from Apex University, Lusaka, Zambia.